Introduce my friend Molly Dodge from the Federal Reserve Bank of Philadelphia. Take it away.
Like Tammy did, let me start my clock so I don't go over. I'm very aware my previous speaker said I'm the one standing between you guys and happy hour, so we'll make this quick. The critical question is ROI from AI real or just hype? I think the answer is in the title of my talk. Agentic AI is the AI with a work ethic. My name is Molly Dodge. As Keith said, I work at the Federal Reserve Bank of Philadelphia. Before that, I was at Penn Medicine, and I am the treasurer for my local Women in Cybersecurity affiliate. And before I start any further, 2 disclaimers. The views expressed in this speech are mine alone and do not necessarily reflect those of the Federal Reserve System or the Federal Reserve Bank of Philadelphia. My second disclaimer is this is only a lightning talk, and it's on a very big topic, so I won't be able to get too much in depth. I hope that you'll end this talk a little bit more interested in Agentic AI than when you started. I hope you want to go out and learn a little bit more. As you heard from Ken and from Elisa, this is I think, the next big move. I think that this is the way that, it's a major way that most people are going to interact with AI very soon. And it's improving productivity and saving money right now. So let's start with some definitions real quick. Automation of digital tasks, typically referred to RPA. That was robotic process automation. The robotic was typically abbreviated as bots. And RPA is a great choice if the task is repetitive, structured, rule-based. It doesn't have to think on its feet. You could use it for data processing, file management, web scraping. It's faster and more reliable than humans. It never asks for a day off, but it's narrow in scope and it cannot problem solve. Enter Agentic AI. This is emerging as the next frontier in automation. Artificial intelligence systems that can make decisions and take actions autonomously, much like a human agent, can achieve specific goals. They combine LLMs, machine learning, and good old-fashioned enterprise automation to create autonomous AI agents. You've heard agents mentioned several times today. They can be assigned a task, they can break it down into sections, they can evaluate how to handle it, and they can keep going on their own. So in the Air Force, Colonel John Boyd invented something called the OODA loop. This is observe, orient, decide, and act, and then you iterate through it several times until you're done. An agentic agent uses a REACT framework. It's not dissimilar. It reasons, it acts, and it observes. In this case, I guess the O is silent, but they iterate through it until they break it down. So essentially, as they reason, they actually use large language or small language models to have an internal dialogue. It's fascinating. They're able to talk to themselves and figure out what's wrong, what's not working, did I do that right, what's next? Additionally, via the Model Context Protocol framework, these agents can interact with external systems. They can call APIs, they can access databases, they can execute code. This is a far cry from, hey, ChatGPT, write me a cat song. You know, this is like, I need you to track, does my cat have medication? And if not, can you email, then it would realize it didn't have any more refills on the medication, it would email the vet. It can problem solve for you. So essentially, AI agents can break a task down. They can ask themselves questions about how to tackle it, and then they can go get stuff done. This is the next big thing. What can it do for us? Why are you interested? Well, as I've been learning, where they really shine is in increasing capacity. This is the coworker that never sleeps. This is the free coworker that never calls off. They improve productivity. There are fewer mistakes made by an agent than by a person. Humans are fallible. Humans are wonderful and creative and they have great ideas, but they are also fallible. It really can enhance customer experience because it can get a person what they need a lot faster. Think of the standard email you would get. You email someone and they say, you get the same email back, someone will get in touch with you during our business hours. An agentic agent, an artificial intelligence agent can read your email and come up with a plan up to and including connecting you with an off hours person. And additionally, and this is a little bit, some of the previous speakers alluded to it, when used correctly, Agentic AI will free employees and regular people from boring and unpleasant tasks. Potentially, it's going to take their jobs, but also, potentially, it frees people up to do what humans are best at, be creative, problem solve, think of new things. So specifically, which is about ROI, can we actually use it in right now today? So you might see an AI sales development representative. It never sleeps. It tracks customer contacts when they visit your website. It sees if someone has changed jobs or gotten promotion. It even might analyze current events to see if things are going to change and this might be a good time to reach out to a prospect. That can really improve your capacity because they can do that 24 hours a day, every day of the year. HR processes are another area where we're seeing a lot of agentic AI because this, when used correctly, can alleviate, you still need human judgment for the hire, but this will review resumes. It does applicant follow-up, hiring, onboarding, provisioning of access of new people. That's a lot of boring scut work that you can free a creative, intelligent person to handle the more important tasks in hiring that need human judgment. Supply chain management is another area where we're seeing a lot with agentic agents. They can monitor stock levels, predict, they can guess what's going to happen, follow through, see why something's delayed. They can, as I said, they can predict what you might need or where you might have a problem. And the big one everyone's heard about, of course, is the shopping agents. They are coming. Sometimes you will get your own, maybe from Visa or MasterCard. Some things like Walmart and Amazon are making their own that you will use, but this is going to be a way that you can shop easily. Just to end, so I do work in information security, that's my day job. And I have to note that because these agents, they're going to have a lot of broad access to multiple systems, and they're going to have external data sources going forward. There's going to be a much broader attack surface on these things. It's going to increase potential risks associated with unauthorized access, data leakage. There might be more easily phished, these agents. And as I mentioned, agentic AI and automation in general, whenever it can outcompete a human, it will outcompete a human. Human workers will need to move to tasks in industries where they are better than the AI. This has happened in the past. I'm not offering a judgment on if it should or if it shouldn't, but it has happened. You don't see many people, making saddles anymore. But we as humans are at the top of the food chain because we are able to evolve. We're able to adapt, we're able to think of new ideas, and probably we will again. I think this cost savings and increasing capacity and productivity will be a huge boon to businesses. And we're seeing agentic automation being incorporated in businesses of all sizes. I think it's going to be particularly, I think right now maybe you're seeing it with bigger enterprises, really big businesses, but I think it's going to actually be most beneficial to small and medium-sized businesses as they can incorporate these agents in to save money and time where they are. Sometimes these businesses are the most sensitive to the cost of doing business. They are going to really see like the enhancement of customer experience and the increase in capacity that these smaller businesses will experience, I think will prove to be exponential. As I said at the start, this is the next thing that's coming. I think I hope you will leave this talk knowing a little bit more about how it works, and a little bit more interested and ready to go delve into it. And thank you very much for listening.